And I don't know if it's just my Knicks fandom, like clouding my thoughts here, and that I should be more bullish on them. It probably has something to do with the fact that they're my favorite team and they haven't won in my lifetime, and I'm like naturally skeptical of them. But, watching the game last night, and it doesn't mean that they're going to win the championship, but I don't know how you don't watch the game last night. Like, the Nuggets played well. The Knicks were just better. And not just that the Knicks were better, the Knicks were freaking awesome. They were so good and so much fun. And the highlight that Ruko is calling there, Brunson with like insane dribbling, like in midair to Bridges with a reverse layup, and it's an embarrassment of riches on this team. So sometimes we talk about a result like yesterday, Kentucky, Tennessee, and I go, you know what? Like, I'm not impressed with either team. I walked away from last night's game with the Knicks and the Nuggets. I was impressed with both teams, and more impressed with the Knicks. And Denver, obviously, is a championship-worthy team. Won the chip 2 years ago. Femi, I'm starting to believe in my New York Knicks.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the orange and blue skies, what Knicks fans say. Like, this team is awesome. They're awesome. My whole caveat with the Knicks this season has just been, can they please stay healthy? Because, to win the title.
I did.
Oh, baby. What number did you get? Did you get the, you just bet it yesterday, last night after the game? What'd you do?
12.
12? I love it. I love it because.
And also, Chiefs to win the Chiefs Knicks parlay, Duke Knicks parlay, Morikawa Masters Knicks parlay. I'm in, baby. Oh yeah.
We're just going to go ahead and attach it to all these big things. Let's do it. Go New York, go New York, go. If they stay healthy, I do believe that this team can challenge the Boston Celtics in the 7-game series. I think they would beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's no shade to Cleveland. I just trust the Knicks guys more in a playoff series. I think their guys have been there, done that before. Like Cat's been to a conference finals before. Brunson's never been there, but Brunson is a big-time performer. I'm not worried about him on the big stage. Like Anunoby, those guys have played in big games. It's a really good team. Bridges has played in the finals. They have so much depth and so much talent, and defensively, they're awesome. What they're getting out of Cat, I didn't know Cat could play defense like this. He was a solid, okay defender in Minnesota. He was never one of their big-time guys. Obviously, it was Gobert and McDaniels, those dudes. But, Cat's playing great defense. You're getting a really, really good team. And then Mitchell Robinson, what's his status? He's supposed to come back soon, isn't he?
Yep.
When you add in a big guy like that, this is a team that is built to beat the Celtics. And even when they didn't have this kind of talent, they always gave Boston problems. So I think, in a series, what's that series price? I mean, Boston will be favored pending home court advantage, but even if the Knicks get home court, Boston's probably a small favorite just because they're the defending champions. I mean, I think there's a chance the Knicks get the 2 seed. It's not locked up that it's going to be Boston. They're only a game apart. So if the Knicks get that home court advantage, Madison Square Garden around May, playoff time, it's a great home court advantage. I think the Knicks can actually beat them. And if they play the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, I'd like the Knicks quite a bit. So I've been on this kick that the Knicks can come out of the East. Let's go. And Nick is now on board. Let's do it. Let's do it. Got to send me one of those too.
I'm telling everybody right now that don't let them win. Because if they win, I will be insufferable. Tyler writes in our chat, he's right. This is the return of New York Nick. He's been gone since baseball season ended because my football team's terrible. But and I don't care enough about hockey. Even with the Rangers, I don't really care. But I'll tell you, I do care about the Knicks. And I'm going to be so in on the Knicks come play. I'm going to end up being really leveraged on the Knicks financially. I'm just saying it right now. And I don't even know if it's the best thing to do, but there it is.
Emotionally and financially invested. We love it. We love it.
Yeah, it's usually not a great combo. I'm not emotionally, I don't care about the Chiefs. Financially invested though.
Financially we care.
This one's a double whammy. This will be both. The Knicks and the Chiefs.
Hey,
if I have as much money on the Knicks as I do on the Chiefs, I guess it will mean something's gone right.
Yeah.
I hope
Chiefs
that is
win
not
the Super
case,
Bowl.
Though. Yeah. Chiefs win the Super Bowl. That would be really awesome.
Unlock some parlays.
You bet. Yes. Chiefs and Duke and Morikawa, and I don't need anything for the rest of the year, of this calendar year after Ohio State, and I'm good. And the AFC Championship game. Okay. Other results last night in the NBA. It was so funny that yesterday on the show, we were at some point we need to start talking about the Sixers. And then they win again last night. They beat the Kings, trailing early in the first half, and then come all the way back, win by 13. Philly's now won 4 straight games. Maxey another 30 points. I just want to read some of these names that are in the Sixers rotation right now with George and Embiid both out due to injury, okay? So obviously you have Maxey. You have Yabusele. He's a pretty good player. Like Eric Gordon, people know who he is. People know who Kelly Oubre is. Then we get to names like Justin Edwards.
Is that a golfer?
Pete Nance.
Jim's
son. Adam Bona, who played college basketball where? Like, I actually recognize his name.
UCLA. Adem Bona. Yeah, he was at UCLA.
Yeah, Adem Bona. He was on the team that with Jaquez and Juzang, right? And
I think
Campbell,
he was. No, I don't think he was that. I think he was on the Tiger Campbell. I think Juzang had already left by then, but he was definitely played with Tiger
Juzang
Campbell
was on
for
that
sure.
team. He was on the team that lost to Gonzaga, right, in the Final Four.
I think he was on the team that lost to the Strother Gonzaga team, like the Sweet 16 game. I think he was on that team. I don't think he was on. He wasn't on the bubble team.
Terrible moments in You Bet betting history was Strother's 3-pointer to beat UCLA in the tournament. And who is Craig's son, Ricky Council, spelt like a school
Arkansas.
council.
Yeah, he was at Arkansas.
Dude,
I remember betting on that team.
Dude. Justin Edwards, Pete Nance, Adam Bona, Ricky Council. They won 4 straight games. What's going to happen when Embiid and Paul George are back? Like, and this team is fully loaded? Like, they're not that far out of the play-in right now in the Eastern Conference.
They are not. And they have a very, very juicy number, 35-1 to win the East, 66-1 to win the NBA title. I'm just so done with this team that I can't get there. And like you said, what's going to happen when Embiid comes back? The same thing that happens. He's going to get hurt again. Like, do you actually trust that this guy will make it through a playoff run if they're fortunate enough to get there? Because think about what's going to happen that have to happen for them to get there. Like, they're probably going to have to be in the play-in tournament. So now you're adding on more games, which we saw last year when they were in the play-in tournament. They won that game, then all of a sudden got the 7 seed, and then they lost to your New York Knicks. But like adding more games, and it's no longer you get to load manage. You have to play in these playoff games. I'm not buying it whatsoever. Like, it's a great stretch for them. Maxey's a stud. I love Tyrese Maxey. They should probably build the team around him because you can't count on Paul George, even though his injury situation is not as dire as Joel Embiid's. But the last time we saw Embiid, he looked so bad on the court. Like, he needs the time off. I'm not even like killing him for taking time off. He needs it as bad as he looked on the court, even though he was putting up some numbers. So I'll never get there with the Sixers. Can't do it. Nope. Not me. Not my money. Work too hard for it.
All right. I don't know if I agree yet. Do they get everybody back? Not yet. No. But they have really good coach.
I like Nurse.
Dude, yeah, I like Nurse. Yeah. I would say that back in like the early days of Facebook, when after Halloween, like the day, like November 1st and November 2nd were always like a Facebook national holiday because it was all like all the girls you went to college with would post like, here's my Halloween album. Nurse was always like a really good choice. Police officer's really good too.
Cat.
Moving on. So you don't want to invest in the Philadelphia 76ers. Let's talk about a team, Femi, that you did invest in. And talk to me a little bit into investing in as well. Our Golden State, the new Ramley, the Golden State Warriors, who after you talked them up yesterday, 25-1 to win the Pacific Division, what do? All they do is beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in a game where SGA scores 52, and the Warriors still win. I gotta tell you, might have the Midas touch here when it comes to some of these West Coast teams, man, at big numbers to win divisions. It's early, obviously, but just saying that's a good first result.
It's very early, and let's see what happens over these next 7 days. Trade deadline's coming up this time next week. We'll figure out if the Warriors have made some moves. But it's a really, really good result. And it's a good result when you look at what else happened around the Pacific Division. Like, you saw the Kings lose to the Sixers, who we just talked about. The Suns lost to the T-Wolves. Now, the Clippers, they won. They're going to be a thorn in the side because I think the Clippers, if healthy, they're probably the best team in the division. But, like, the Lakers right now, Anthony Davis is out for at least a week. They're going to reevaluate him next week. Who knows with his injury history? And also, like, LeBron's 40. He could get hurt at any time. Like, I do think there's a path for the Golden State Warriors here. A really, really impressive performance. And this was not Steph Curry putting the team on his back. Steph had like 21 points last night. You get Kuminga back, all of a sudden now this roster that does not have Draymond Green, eventually he's going to return as well. Like, the Warriors, they should not be as big of a price as they were yesterday, 25-1. It's way too compressed for them to be that. So, really good result, Let's keep it rolling. I know they have a tough stretch here. They're playing a lot of really good teams heading into the All-Star break, but if they can continue to win and start to look a little bit better, maybe add a couple of guys at the deadline, all of a sudden this Warriors team that everybody's written off, nobody wants to believe, all of a sudden they could be very much in the mix to win this specific division. So I like where we're at right now. It's obviously one day and it's one result, but last night was really, really cool to see them actually go out there and beat a Western Conference contender.
How about this from Kevin O'Connor, who used to work for The Ringer and now works for Yahoo Sports. Yep. O'Connor saying a half an hour ago, Steph Curry and Steve Kerr, quote, have reservations about Jimmy Butler's potential fit in the Warriors locker room. I've kind of heard off record a little bit that this is something that might not happen. If I told you right now, no Jimmy Butler, how would you feel about the Warriors? If I took Jimmy Butler off the table, and to be fair, he's still on the table.
Yeah. I mean, can we get somebody else? Like, if it's just current roster is going to just stand pat, then, like, I'm not in love with this bet. And maybe it still wins and, like, we're just free rolling it or whatever. But, like, I'm obviously, like the bet was made hoping that this team would recognize that there's still a chance to go for this thing and build it around Steph Curry. But if they just say that we're going to keep doing this 2 timelines thing with the young guys and then Curry and Draymond, then, like, this is probably just going to end up being in the play-in tournament at most, but likely not going to win the division. So, if it's not Butler, do something. Do something.